Good morning. Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian.
And I'm Lauren.
And this is the morning routine.
A coffee-friendly workout.
Oh, that sounds good. Let's go to the theme park first with our body weight. For new people to our practice, what the heck does theme park mean? Well, we're going to take the head and neck, then the rib cage, then the hips on gentle at first, but all those theme park rides, starting with the merry-go-round. Take an ear and push it towards the side. Return to center. Same thing the other direction. And again, as we're doing this one or two more each way, we're creating stability through the rest of the body and gently expressing that mobility at that head neck. Return to center, and then look to Lauren here for more of a description of what's going on. Face forward, then chin in or back, and repeat. That sternum and core stays tight or centered, and the head neck pushes forward and back. Now the merry-go-round is to take the head towards the side of your choice and then go to the front. And from the front, reach to the next lateral side, around the back, finish where you started, return center. Then slide the other way and then reach to the front. Front to the other side, around the back, the chin tuck, return to the left or the lateral side of your choice, then center. Let's explore those same movements through the rib cage. We'll pull the rib cage one way and then to the other. The hips stay center. The rib cage slides and glides from the left towards the right and then back to center. Again, look to Lauren for a little bit more of the shape change here. As the hips stay stationary, the sternum pushes forward and the shoulders then retract as we round. Keep the shoulder blades tight. It'll minimize the shape, but again, express that movement through the perhaps tight upper back. Return to center. Again, the circle shape or that merry-go-round. I'll go to my left first and then reach around the front. The butt is squeezing, the feet are pressing into the floor, and then a half circle, continue that half circle around the back, and then reset in center, and then shift the other way, and then a figure eight pattern as we switch directions from the front, circle to the back, around the back to the side, and then in to center. We'll add a little bit of a shake here. We'll come back to the theme park in a second. Until then, little feet for Lauren here.
Okay. Well, hips? You said the hips too.
Oh, okay. We'll get into hips.
Okay,
Oops.
We'll get into hips too. Before we do that, let's do our feet. We'll do our regular feel that pull on the floor as we pull the heel off, get to the demi point, use your toes to point, and then gently rolling over those toes. Oh, it feels so good. Allow that foot to wing out to the side a little bit and then pull it back into center. Then allow the foot to wing into center and pull it back. Now that it's in a nice straight line, get back to that toe point through the ball of the foot, and then you're pushing the heel down so that the hip pushes forward. Repeat on the other side. Feel that pull off the floor. Get that hamstring and glute fired up to the point. Then allow the toes to roll over. Do your wing, little kick out, pull back to center, little kick in, back to center, get back to the tiptoes, through the demi point, and push forward and down, heel connects. From here, let's do our knees towards over toes and just hang out, little wiggle from side to side there, and then press through, hips come through, extend to tall. Repeat again, knees over toes. This time we're going to do some roll ups and downs throughout our foot warm up today. Can you roll up to the balls of the feet and stay the same height, or reconnect the heels and press to tall? Now from here, we'll find a 2-foot balance and hold for 3, 2, keeping the knees nice and straight, descend. And last one, this time we'll go up first. We'll send the knees forward. We'll connect the heels and then press to tall. With all that tension, can we also shake it out? So allow those ankles to be loose in between sets. Back
Awesome.
To the merry-go-round.
Back
or
to the theme park.
Maybe a new ride.
Yeah, from that merry-go-round, which is that circle shape along the floor, we'll aim to make that circle shape on the wall in front, maybe like that Ferris wheel. From here, pull down, slide right, lift up, and around. We're drawing a circle. It doesn't need to go far. 1 or 2 more in that same direction here. keeping the horizon level, avoiding the exaggerated yes action of up or down. Switch our direction here. To the side, up and over the top. Pull the chin down. Try it again. Express that movement through the neck, through the head moves, but the neck stays mostly in the same place.
I imagine if I had a marker on my nose, I'd be trying to draw a perfect circle.
That's a good example there. And return to center. It's a little bit more expressive or big through the rib cage here. Same idea. Keep those shoulders in tight the way Lauryn has her arms crossed. And from here, we'll slide to the right, and this time pull down, engaging the core. Slide from down to across, and without shrugging the shoulders, lift up and over. Repeat 1 or 2 more in this circle shape, drawing that circle maybe with that belly button and a marker in it instead. 1 or 2 more. Do you feel those abdominals create that stability and mobility? And then we'll switch as Lauryn just did. We'll pull to the other side. Up and around. Finish in center, and then add the wiggle. We will get to those hips, but first let's go back to those feet. Check it out, Lauryn. 1 more foot warm-up.
All right, from here this time, let's turn our feet out to that slightly turned out position. And then this time we'll peel that foot up off the floor to that demi point. Point our toes, allow them to roll over. Get back to the tiptoes, ball of foot connects, heel descends. Feel that same pull and push off the floor as we do this on the other side. Keeping that inseam forward, ball of foot connects, heel comes down. Now from here, let's push those knees towards over the toes and hang out. Trying to imagine we're keeping those hips tucked under, we're in between 2 panes of glass, and then stand up. Can we pull ourselves down again? And this time allow the heels to leave, find a light balance for 3, 2, then heels will connect and press to tall. Continue pressing up and find a balance up here. Holding, keeping the knees nice and straight. 3, 2, and then slow on the down. 1 more. We go up first. We send the knees towards over the toes. Then trying to stay that same height, we connect the heels to the ground and press to tall. And then just as the last time, have all that tension, but also be able to shake it out in between. Nice.
We have 1 balance aid to the side, and we're actually missing our other balance aid here. But we'll get into hip flexion and hamstring stretches. Using your apparatus here, I'll just coach Lauryn through. Stand just behind. Without bringing the knee forward, so maintain those quads parallel, slowly flex or bend at the knee. Hold for a second, and for 10 seconds or so, tuck under those hips to feel the glutes. Then slowly extend on the knee. Repeat on the other side. A little bit of that weight transfer. Quads are going to stay parallel and bend at the knee. Push those hips forward, slightly tuck those hips under, and reach back, just that little bit extra. Then take time as you extend to tall. Switch sides again, quads parallel, bend 1 knee. Gently flex that hip and find your foot resting on that apparatus in front. From here, let's get into those theme park hips. Could we hike a hip on one side and then pull it down? Repeat 1 or 2 more of a hip hike and pull down. Again, and find level or center. Now, we'll do our anterior tip, or hips go back, and then hips scoop under. Repeat a couple more, driving that action through those femurs and under. Repeat 1 last time, find your safe center, then gently lift up the foot a hair, bend on the knee, return the quads to parallel, and straighten out both legs. A little bit of a shake in between is appropriate, and repeat on the other side. Quads stay parallel. I heard that beautiful flick of the foot from Lauryn, and bring the knee to front or hip flexion. Make sure this is an easy position for you. Lower the step if you need. Then the hip hike. Hip hike high and pull back down. Repeat a couple more, ensuring that the shoulders aren't doing that action and we're stabilizing through the core practicing stability and mobility in the hip. The other actions again is that tuck under and then anterior tip back. Think about driving that action through the femurs, pull push on the floor, pull push on that apparatus like the chair, return to center, and from here, gently lift up the foot, extend the hip to parallel quads, and then straighten out the knee. A little bit of a shake and a reset. This time, we're going to step backwards. Probably just one step is sufficient. Instead of the bent leg, like Captain Morgan on the chair, we'll be having a straight leg out front to say hello to those hamstrings. Lauryn again is showing that dorsiflex foot, the toes being pulled to the shin. In this place, can we again hike a hip, pull down. Little John Travolta, hike a hip and pull down. And again, that anterior tip or tailbone back, and then that tailbone scoop under. Repeat one more, tailbone tip, and then scoop. Now from this position, keep the standing leg scooped or tucked under, and with the other leg, tip your tailbone back. It doesn't have to express in a huge shape or a different change of motion, but feel some tension and then relax. Now change the foot. If you had that dorsiflex foot, can we find room to point those toes? Might have to back up if the chair got in the way. Repeat the same thing. We have the standing leg tucked under. Gently tip your tailbone back on the straight leg or elevated side. From here, if you need more stretch or would like to explore, hinge on those hips, pressing the hips back. Breathe into that stretch. Extend through. Gently pull along the chair that your knee bends. Your quads get parallel, and then we straighten out. Reset with a relaxed shake and roll, and repeat one last time on the other side. Nice, Lauryn, those quads stay parallel as you bend the knee. Flexing the hip, and then straightening out on top. Dorsiflex that ankle, and play with a hip hike and down. Hip hike and down, build awareness and strength to build center. Then tip your tailbone back, and then scoop it underneath. Tailbone tip, and again, drive that action through the femur here, pulling and pushing. Now that we're on that standing leg, tuck the hip under. With the elevated leg, think tipping your tailbone back. That should lengthen out the hamstring and bring a little bit of that sensational stretch. Relax the tension, and now point the foot. Again, re-scoop that standing hip underneath, extending the hip with the glutes. Then with that elevated leg, visualize that gentle tailbone tip back. If you'd like to keep exploring, this is where we could integrate that hinge of pressing the hips back. Breathe into that stretch. Extend the hips with control as you come out, and a gentle knee bend, a controlled dismount as you get those legs back to parallel. Straighten out the knee, and then add the shake. We're going to keep our balance aid close as Lauryn takes us through the rib roll and the leg bar first.
All right, with that balance aid at our side here, we'll leg bar first with our nice straight leg. What that means is we're tall on that inside leg, taking balance out of the equation and holding on lightly, pointing that leg to the front. Right away, we'll turn it open so that inseam is facing up. We'll draw the circle to the side. At this sidemost point, just hold. That inseam is still rolled forward. The hips are pushing forward and we're tall on that inside leg. Now gently internally rotate that leg, hiding the inseam, and complete the circle around the back. Roll over the foot, keep the knee straight as it passes through, and repeat all the way to the front again. Inseam turns up right away, sending the leg to the side, the hips come forward and stay level. Internally rotate the leg, continue reaching around out the back. Roll over the foot, keep the knee straight. We'll tap out to the front, and then we'll pull back underneath to the back. Reach long. Open up the leg in its socket so those hips or pelvis are staying stationary, but the leg is moving. Continue drawing the circle to the front. Pull underneath one last time all the way to the back. Pelvis is stationary. Hip rotates open as it draws to the circle to the side. To the front, and then pull. Staying tall, knee stays straight, under. Whew. Shake it out. Finding stability in that standing leg and mobility in the moving leg. Tall on the inside leg to the front. Rotate that leg open right away. Send the leg to the side and just pause once it gets there. At that side most point, the hips are still forward, the inseam's forward, the knee is straight. We'll gently internally rotate that leg and continue drawing the circle around the back. Rolling over that foot, keeping a nice straight knee, those hips come through. Point the foot out the front again. Repeat. External rotation. Send the leg to the side. Then internally rotate, hiding that inseam. Complete the circle out the back. Roll over the foot through center, going to the front, and then pulling back through center and reaching long out the back. Rotate that leg open in the socket again. Again, pelvis is stationary, that femur is rotating all the way around to the front. Pull through center one last time, reaching long out the back. Rotating the leg open as it comes around that corner. Completing the circle to the front, and then pulling, keeping the knee straight underneath. Shaking it out. Let's stay on this side, and then we'll switch sides and do it again. Now we'll look to our our rib roll here. So with your balance aid at your side, that other arm in front slightly. Round or pull forward, so ribs towards hips. Then from here, you're gonna do a small rotation towards your bar, keeping your hips forward. You're gonna do a little side bend to that new corner, and we'll follow with that arm, reaching up and back to that new corner. Then around the back in extension, opening up to the other corner. We'll do a side bend or dip towards that corner. The arm comes down, rolls through center to where you started, and then just pull up to tall. We'll repeat the other direction. So we come forward first, ribs to hips. Then we'll rotate to the new corner. Little side bend to that corner. We start reaching up and over. The hips stay forward as we extend out the back and rotate to that back corner. Rolling around to the front, that ribs to hips, the arm comes down, and then extend to tall. Nice, shake it out. We have to do the same thing on the other side, so switching places here. If that arm doesn't know what to do, the easiest other thing to do would to just concentrate on the rib roll, keeping that arm in tight to the body.
Of all the movements so far today, that one has been my happiest.
It's nice.
That one feels nice.
Okay. We went away from the bar, to the bar first. So ribs to hips first. Add your rotation towards the bar in the rib cage, then side bend. Reach that arm up and over to that new corner. Extend out the back, keep your core braced, rotate to that back corner. Side bend over there and roll back to the front. Come up tall, take a second, repeat the other way. Ribs to hips first. We rotate away from the bar this time. We do a side bend to that new corner. We open up, reaching, extending out the back, rotating to the other back corner. Little side bend towards it and roll around to the front and pull up to tall.
Nice.
It does feel good.
Real nice. From here, we'll be transitioning into a series of sumo squats. Add tension first, depth or range next, and then we'll fold and plank, also for that core tension. My feet are my sumo stance, just about 2 shoulder widths apart, and Lauryn's is about the same. Find your perfect stance and start to push down and out. By pushing down and out, your arches excite, your glutes might cramp, and it might present the stretch on the front of the hips. Switch slowly as we pull, trying to peel the floor together underneath of you. Your glutes still work hard. These outside hips work overtime, but maybe not even as hard as what these do, and then relax. Add that little shake and wiggle. Now add that tension as we pull in first, and gently pull so much. I know gently and so much, a little bit weird, but pull so much that those knees go over toes. Now create this isometric. Don't move, but push down and out. Once we feel that tension, quads and glutes, continue to extend those hips to tall. 2 more. we start by pulling in, descending with control, pulling on these adductors. Don't go anywhere yet, but push out. Create that high tension, and then once we have that preload, extend those hips to tall. Wiggle a little bit maybe. Find your perfect stance, and the last one will pull in, getting low. Push away. Create tension on those legs and extend those hips to tall. Heel toe that back together. Add the little shake. And Lauryn, take us to the ground with our fold and plank.
Standing tall with your feet underneath you, we'll reach that chin gently towards the ceiling. And then we'll tuck the chin and start rolling ourselves forward. The chin towards the collarbone. Then the ribs towards the hips. And you continue folding and flexing on that spine. Every vertebrae gets to flex forward. Once you're in this dangle or forward fold position, just take a second and take a breath. Breathing, maybe bending those knees and straightening them, or trying to keep them nice and straight. Then we'll walk ourselves out to our high plank position. That's our hands under our shoulders, our toes are tucked, and our hips are in line with our shoulders. We're slightly tucked under, we're pulling the floor together underneath us. All of our glutes are squeezed, all of our cores are braced, nothing could move us. Keep pulling your hands towards your feet for 4, 3. Now start pressing the floor forward, tilting the tailbone long as you reach those hips up towards the sky. You're gently starting to press those heels towards the floor as you walk your hands back in towards your feet. And once you're back in that forward fold, engage the core, engage the muscles on the spine, and actively stack yourself back up to tall.
Last movement here, progressing off of the sumo squat into the shiko, also a little known as a weight transfer here. Open up your stance, sumo stance of your choice.
Probably a little narrower than the last time.
Pull yourself down. The leg hit is optional, it adds fun, and then transfer the weight to a single leg. From here, point, land toe ball heel, press away from the ground, and balance. Extend the leg, land toe ball heel, and repeat. Perhaps have that chair in front. A light balance aid goes a long way. Pull, push, balance, point, land with control, and let's repeat and perhaps climb towards the knee, and then straight, and toe ball heel. Repeat to the knee, quads engage, hips extend, and down. And the last one, go slow. Break some of those ballet rules as you might add the tip, and then the straight, and then the toe ball heel. And the last repetition, extend the hips. Break some of those ballet rules as we lean back.
But don't break the bottom knee straight
Don't
rule.
break those rules, Ian. And then up and together. Final repeat on the floor, folds and planks.
Back to that fold position, those feet are underneath you, that slight extension through the neck, and then we start to flex. Chin towards the collarbone, ribs towards the hips. Try not to push your butt back as you continue to roll forward. The heels are down, but you are trying to keep that more forefoot weight. From here, take a second, breathe. Then you'll walk yourself out to that high plank position. For 10 seconds again, here we go. Hips tuck, glutes squeeze. Grip the floor with all 10 fingers. Pull the hands towards the feet. Keep breathing, keep holding. Couldn't move you if I tried. For 4, 3, 2. Now start pressing forward with those hands. Tilt the tailbone up towards the ceiling, keeping that spine long. Walk those hands or feet towards the hands. Get into that forward fold position. Engage the core and stack up, back up onto those hips. The head is last to rise all the way up.
Excellent.
I felt good.
This concludes this morning's Sunday routine. Sometimes it's 45 minutes, sometimes it's 30 like today. And stay tuned for 15-minute pre-recorded episodes to stay loose, to groove how you want to move on a Sunday, or at least how Lauryn wants to move on a Sunday.
I feel better now.
I feel great. I wish I got to do those hamstring stretches because I really was excited to see those on the menu.
I'm going to go fill my coffee cup.
There's a question mark. That sounds good too. There's a question mark at the end of this menu. What would you like to see? What would you finish today's practice with? Hardcore kettlebell workout, hardcore balances at the bar, or is this just enough? Let us know in a link letter. To those members, thank you very much. We look forward to sharing more with you this coming week through the link letter, live, and archive classes. I'm Ian.
I'm still Lauren. Until next time, take care, stay strong, and we'll see you soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Perfect for a Sunday morning.